Hi, and welcome to episode 14 of the Dittmer Knittery podcast. Thank you for being here, whether you're a new viewer or you've watched before. I'm glad to have you here, and I'd like to hear from you. You can make comments in the comment section, and there's another section where you can get information to contact me in other ways on Facebook, Instagram. You can read my blog. There's information about all of that in the box down below. And there also will be links to anything that I talk about that needs linking. That's where you'll find it, in the box down below. I do like hearing from my viewers. Those of you who watch know I read and reply to my comments, and I enjoy the comments, and I enjoy a dialogue. Let's talk. This is what it's about. Let's make some connections. One thing I talked about recently is the mosaic crochet rabbit hole where I have fallen down. I'm still down here. I appreciate your comments and your positive feedback. That's been really meaningful. So although I've talked about it a couple of times already, I'm going to talk about mosaic crochet a little bit again today. I am working on some other things, but they're not ready for me to show them to you yet. I don't have anything else that I feel like I can show you right now. So I'm going to talk about what I do have to show you today. I'm still working on the mosaic crochet Merry Mosaic tree bag. The Merry Mosaic is a FiberFoxStudio chart, and there will be a link to that. You have seen some of this before, but I believe I've made some progress since the last time you've seen it. I'm quite pleased with it. It is still attached to its ball of yarn because I would like to add a couple of more rows. I was waiting to decide whether or not to add a couple of more rows, and also about what kind of handle I'm going to put on it. So I'd left it to the side for a few days with the yarn still attached. And now I am just about ready to proceed with the next thing. This is so much fun. This is so enjoyable and satisfying. How lovely is that? And I'm telling you, this is not hard to do. It is a combination of rows of single crochet and double crochet. Single crochet, back loop only. Change colors every other row. And then you do certain double crochets in certain spaces, in certain stitches, to create this mosaic effect. And I probably can't explain it very well, but the chart is very easy to follow. With a little bit of practice, I was able to understand the charts and create this piece. One thing I always wonder is, what does it look like on the inside, on the other side? So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side. This is the inside of the work. Also quite nice to look at. And I have a very strong temptation to finish it off, put a strap on it, line it, and carry it the way it is. But my need to see it felted is even stronger than that temptation. So I am going to felt it. It will look quite different the next time you see it. And I probably will put, I'm going to put a handle on it. I'm not going to make a knitted or crocheted strap for it. I'm going to put a handle on it, I think. I think I might use these handles. I don't remember exactly where they came from, but they're plastic or acrylic. I hope they're Bakelite, but I really don't think they are. They feel like it, but they look more like acrylic or plastic. And I have two of those, and they probably came off a thrift store bag that I bought the bag to get the handles. And so I think that would make a nice handle on this bag. And like I said, I do have two of them. And the bag will be quite a bit smaller when it's felted. Or I have a set of these wooden ones that I could put on there. And I think once it's felted, I'll have a better idea of which one I want to attach, which set of handles I want to attach. And so I hope the next time you see this bag, it will look quite different, and it will be completed or very, very much closer to completion. This is my other mosaic crochet project that you've seen before, a bag. I believe this is cotton, so of course it can't be felted and shrunk, and I believe I am going to have it lined. And the reason I'm showing it to you today, again, although you've seen it, is I think I will put these handles on this bag. Let you see that a little more closely. A nice braided straw handle. And I'm sure this came off a thrift store bag that I bought the bag to get the handles. I may have ordered them. Now that I'm thinking, I may have ordered these, but I know I have bought a lot of bags to get their handles. But anyway, I think those will look nice on the cotton, excuse me, on the cotton mosaic crochet bag. And like I said, I do have a couple of other things in progress. I have a bag I'm just starting. I have a commission bag that's come quite a long ways, and it will need to be hot water felted just like the mosaic crochet tree bag will need to be felted. So I'll probably take a day, hopefully within the next week or so, and do some hot water felting. And then I will have those finished objects to show you. The other thing I wanted to talk, oh wait, let me go back for just a minute. Just a minute. I wanted to talk about what I think is going to happen when I felt this bag, because I have not felted a lot of crochet, and it's going to shrink differently than knitting does, because crochet stitches are shaped differently from knit stitches. So for this bag, I think it will lose about half this way, maybe not quite half, and maybe about a quarter to a third this way, so that the bag will come out to be about this size. Now, of course, it will shrink proportionally, and all the trees will be there and all the colors will be there, but it will be much smaller. And let's see if my prediction comes anywhere near what I think. If it doesn't felt well, my concern would be that it is long and narrow and funny looking. But as long as it turns out looking any kind of bag shape, I'll be happy. But I did want to back up for just a second and talk about my shrinkage prediction on that, so that together we can see what happens. The other thing I have to talk to you about today, I hope you've noticed, I have a special Afghan on my couch. This is quite a special Afghan. I want to say I made it in the early 90s. This is Karen's Simply Soft Yarn in Sage dark sage. And I have off-white written down here, but obviously I didn't end up using the off-white. I did change my mind about this brick red several times. I had off-white joining it. I had another reddish color joining it, and then I finally put it together with this brick red, and I like that, and that's what I settled on. This was pretty early crochet days for me. I'm looking at my notes on my computer, and I do have, let me show you, the leaflet for this afghan. And this afghan is actually on the front of this leaflet. This is a Leisure Arts leaflet for $3 that I got at Walmart for $2.68. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is early 90s, might be late 80s, I think early 90s. And a rather major project for me. I was not familiar with this construction where you make panels. The panels are made of these strips, and then you join the panels that you have made from the strips, you join them with this other color, with the reddish color. So the afghan is constructed of 3 panels like this that are the dark green, the light green, and the dark green. That's one panel made of 3 strips. And then there's 2 of those panels, and there's 3 of these panels where there's 2 light green strips. So you make a strip, and then make this other strip join to it, and then that's a panel. Make a strip, make a strip, make a strip, that's a panel. And then once you have all the panels constructed, you join them with this 3rd color. And part of the challenge here for me, and I laugh at this, I hope that you laugh with me. I remember struggling with that this pattern says with right sides facing these strips to each other, right sides facing. I sew. I read sewing patterns. And right sides facing means that the 2 pieces of fabric have their right sides facing and their wrong sides facing out. And you sew them together that way with the right sides facing. And I don't remember how long I tried to understand what they meant by right sides facing, with me trying to put these strips together with their right sides facing and join them in the way that the instructions said. It just couldn't be done. I couldn't understand. And so I finally resolved it by asking someone who neither sewed nor crocheted what was meant by, they would think what was meant by with right sides facing. And they said, well, it's facing you. Well, that made total sense. The right side of the crochet work was facing me, not each other, me. Well, then the project came together much better. But that's how long ago this was for me, that I didn't quite understand the instructions. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I have written in pencil in this pattern book, Caron Simply Soft, the color names, some other notes, and that is my handwriting in pencil, and that is throughout this pattern that I have written down things to clarify for me and what I did maybe instead of what they said. But it's probably more likely to clarify because I wouldn't know how to do anything other than what they said at that stage. But here's the offending language with right sides facing and where I've written wrong sides together. It's like I said, I sewed, and right side facing means something different when you sew. The sentimental part of this story about this Afghan, because there is one after that struggle to create it. And this went on for months, me creating this Afghan, because once I'd figured out the pattern and I'd made these strips, then I couldn't decide about the color to join them. And I actually joined the whole thing, constructed the whole thing with 3 different colors of I did a off-white instead of the brick red, and then I did more of a red, and I didn't like that, and I took it all out, and then I did this brick red. And then I had it all together and constructed. And at some point in my career, I began to take it to work with me and put it on the back of my chair at work. So it's been with me at important times in my life when I needed something comforting from home at my job at a time when I might need a breather or a thought other than a hectic day. I had my blanket on the back of my chair, and it was, I don't remember why I took it to work with me one day, but it became my blanket that I had on the back of my chair. Probably, I can remember 3 jobs, at least 3 jobs, that I've taken it to work with me, and it just sits on the back of my chair and occasionally gets used as a blanket if someone needs one. So besides it being beautiful, which I believe it is, I love it. It's called Queen Anne's Lace. Queen Anne's Lace. And like I said, it was an unusual construction. And now, even looking back today, thinking about making it and looking at the instruction booklet, it is unusual. And I just love it. And I'm going to lift it up here and hold it up. I'm going to lift it up here and hold it where you maybe can see the stitches a little bit better. And of course I put fringe on it. So that's one of my favorite blankets. You don't know, I didn't know when I was making it that a long time later it would be so sentimental to me. It's part of the joy of making these things. Sometimes we wonder why we go to so much effort and why I, as such a new crocheter, so probably at that time I'd been crocheting for less than 5 years, and probably not very dedicated to it those first few years. So this was a pretty serious undertaking. I also made one for my sister. Hers is joined with pink. I think the colors are the same except for her, instead of the brick red, she has pink. And I really enjoyed making it. And if I were into making Afghans, it might be one that I would actually choose to make again. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for sharing my joy in my Afghans and my mosaic crochet. I will see you again soon. I hope you will please keep in touch with me. Take care of yourselves. Be here and now. See things as they are. Peace and love. See you soon.